Tell me about your most memorable moment as a teenager.
There was a particular day I was taking a walk with my dad, yeah, and but this he said this to me in Yoruba. I hear you're having a girlfriend. Let it not be true. If I hear, I was like, what, maybe 14, 15 by then. He told me specifically, I will cut you with razor blades and put dry pepper inside at that
So
time.
let's
And
talk about your father.
there was a period where the relationship between he and I broke for a bit. My mom was like the saddest I'd ever seen her then, and I was wondering what's going on. Dad was nowhere to be found. And so one of my uncles that was staying with us told me, just calm down. Your dad is expecting another baby. I said, what? How? Where?
How?
He'd sit with us and watch cartoons in the morning before dropping us off in school. But he was a serious disciplinarian. So my initial approach to life was, I have seen the mistakes my dad made. I don't ever want to make those mistakes. I don't ever want to make, and then I had that right in front of me consistently. Now, I didn't realize that I was literally programming my mind to do the exact same things, because once you hyper-focus on something, you become that thing. And I realized that that was not the approach to take. The approach is to
Dapo Akintoye. Our guest for today is a strategist, communicator, and storyteller who has built a career across the private, public, and non-profit sectors with a particular passion for entertainment, media, and tech. He is currently Director of Strategy and Communications at i360 and co-founder of digital and mobile app development company 4Figure Creatives. A gifted writer with tier 1 bylines, scripts, and pitches to his name, he is at his best when building connections, leading teams, and making things happen. He is passionate about God, family, and seeing people grow. Please welcome Dapo Akintoye.
Growing with grace. Growing with grace. Growing with grace. We rise together.
Dapo, how
Hello.
are you?
I'm fine.
It's good to have you.
I'm glad to be here.
How does it feel like being here to talk about childhood, teenagehood?
Honest answer,
Mm-hmm.
really nervous.
Why?
I don't do well in front of the camera. I'm not such a forward-facing person when it comes to cameras and all that. But I mean, I like the conversation. I like the inspiration here.
Yeah.
And so yeah,
Well, I'm glad you
Yakubu will
came. I
manage.
know you don't like the cameras. So I know I actually put you on the spot when I asked you to come on this show with
I
me, but
know.
I'm very happy to have you. So I
I'm
always like to
happy to
start
be
the
here.
show with everyone on the same note because our conversation is about growing up, right? So tell me about your most memorable moment as a teenager.
As a teenager, there are quite a few of them. There was a particular day I was taking a walk with my dad, yeah, and so in as much as he was a Yoruba man, he was not. He tried his best not to be like a Yoruba man per se. But he said this to me in Yoruba. I'll just transliterate, and he was like, "I hear you're having a girlfriend. Let it not be true. If I hear," I was like, what, maybe 14, 15 by then. He told me specifically, I will cut you with razor blades and put dry pepper inside. And that thing put the fear of God in me afresh. And so even though I was thinking of having a girlfriend then, I had to, postpone those plans for the future because that was a very graphic image. Yeah.
So you didn't have a girlfriend at the time?
Oh, no. I had a friend. She did not become my girlfriend. We dated later in life, but nah,
Not at that moment.
not at that time.
So let's talk about your father.
Oh, yeah.
What kind of man was he? Outside, I don't want career now. I mean, your relationship as a family man. What kind of man was he?
As a family man, he was very in touch with his childhood.
Mm.
My dad was very sanguine, so he always wanted to. Well, he was a people pleaser as well, but then
Mm.
he always wanted it to be that everyone around him was having a good time. We never had a shortage of people living with us while we were growing up. There was always cousins and aunties and all that. There was always like a lot. Not because he did not value his privacy, but he was just built that way. He just had like loads of people around him almost all the time. Was it good? It was good and bad, but then that was just who he was. I think he was also a very trusting person, and he could have been a little bit more disciplined, but he was a serious disciplinarian. How he, existed with that awkward balance, we'll never find out. But yeah, that's him in a nutshell. When I said he was in touch with his childhood, I remember vividly there are times when this was when we are like pretty little. He'd sit with us and watch cartoons in the morning before dropping us off in school. And then he maintained a library so that we could always have things to read. And he'd encourage, in fact, he never wanted to hear vernacular in the house.
Wow.
He'd encourage you to read. He'd encourage you to respond always in English. He'd encourage you to, get creative, do creative stuff, and read as much as you wanted. If you had any issues, ask. But then, yeah, that's who he was.
So you
Yeah.
said something that he was a people pleaser.
Yeah, he was a people pleaser.
What do you mean?
Because at the risk of other things suffering, he'd please people. I'd seen him either help out people in the neighborhood, help out. There were like mechanics that were super loyal to him, and not because our cars were going bad. They just liked the fact that he could help them out when they had issues and all that. The people that would always come to him, there were sales people that made away with a lot of his money. And he was just sad about it, but didn't really do anything about it. I remember there was a time that he had like a taxi and a taxi driver. And I only heard through conversations that he and my mom were having that this person is not delivering what they were supposed to be delivering. And he was like, oh, yeah, maybe he's going through something. I was like, I'm wondering, guy. But then I was too little to know any of those things. Now I can see, in retrospect, I can see and profile him and say, this is exactly why he did the things he did. This is the kind of person he was to make him act that way. But yeah.
Do you think that's what we're experiencing now as millennials, as adults? We're in a space where we're sitting down and asking ourselves the things that what did our parents do right, and how are we bringing their own characteristics, their own characters, their own personality into how we're bringing up our own children. And it could be good or bad if you ask me. So you said he's a disciplinarian.
Yeah.
And he's also a people pleaser.
Yeah.
So disciplinarian inside the house, but a people pleaser outside the house. How did that affect your childhood? Was there a time where you needed money and there was someone owing you, but daddy refused to collect?
Oh, we would never have known all those ones. No. He just had one rule. If you need anything, make sure you tell me the day before. Don't tell me as you're leaving for school, oh, daddy, we need this. He's not going to answer you. But if you need something, you tell him the day before. He'll make sure it happens. He was like that. If there's anything, as long as there's money, you can have it. But just let me know the day before, and on the day of, you have it. That's it.
What was your relationship with him like?
My relationship with him had layers. When I was growing up, as well, every African child, maybe not African, let me say every Nigerian child would have thought of this at some point. Growing up, you'll have thought at some point that this might not really be my dad, or these might not really be my parents. I had that phase as well because the guy flogged me, man. Oh, Jesus. He when I say he was disciplinarian, he had punishments, he had canes. So I mean, just don't step out of line. He was the kind of person that he's coming home, you hear the horn of his car outside, and then everybody's scurrying, trying to put the house back in order and all that. That was what it was like. Just try not to step out of line. Besides that, as long as you're not offending.
But you're a gentleman anyway, so I'm not sure you did more of offending, or did you?
I comment my reserve.
When did you have your first girlfriend?
When did I have my first girlfriend? I think my first actual relationship was when I was in SS3, I think. Yeah.
But you're still a teenager at the time.
I was still a teenager. I was SS3. I was maybe 15, 16 then. And this was just so this is the context of girlfriend. You're writing letters back and forth. Probably see once in a while, and seeing her is, oh, she's on the balcony with her grandma, who is like Thanos or something like that. You just wave and, go past in your car. I don't think we ever got to see, per se, in the boyfriend girlfriend type of light. We just had this letter writing romance type of thing. And then she returned to the US. We lost contact for quite a while. I saw her like a few years later. She was married with kids and all that. We just said hi, and let it slide. But I think that was like, as far as I know, that was my first actual girlfriend.
And Daddy didn't know.
By then, he had mellowed down.
Oh.
Yeah, as I said, my relationship with him was in layers. There was that very strong and strict part. There was the time when, by the time I crossed into SS2, something really, really groundbreaking happened. Got home and, you know when you get into the house and there's news, but no one is saying anything. And you know that something has happened, but nobody wants to tell you. My mom was like the saddest I'd ever seen her then, and I was wondering what's going on. Daddy was nowhere to be found. And so one of my uncles that was staying with us told me, just calm down. Your dad is expecting another baby. I said, what? How? Where?
How?
So that tainted my view of him for a while. And so there was like there was a period where the relationship between he and I broke for a bit. And then like a year after that, he and I had like a sit down and we spoke like men. And without justifying his actions or anything, he ran me through the whole story of everything and how he ended up with a second wife, per se. Now, do I understand him? Absolutely. Do I condone it? No. But do I understand him? Because apparently, as I said, the boundaries and discipline could have been better, but he bumped into his first girlfriend. They had split up because she traveled for school, got married, he got married. Her husband passed away, they reconnected, and chemistry. And so he was telling it to me from the angle of, oh, love that was lost is now been found. And I was listening from the angle of, okay, so I have a half brother now. Is that what you're telling me? That type of thing. But I got to understand him better and better. We got to have like more frank conversations, his final years. And good man could have done a little better with self-discipline.
Okay. How do you connect your relationship with your father with who you are now as an adult and as a father?
So my initial approach to life was, I have seen the mistakes my dad made. I don't ever want to make those mistakes. I don't ever want to make, and then I had that right in front of me consistently. Now, I didn't realize that I was literally programming my mind to do the exact same things, because once you hyper focus on something, you become that thing. Thankfully, thank God, along the line I realized I've had amazing counselors, I've had amazing teachers. And I realized that was not the approach to take. The approach is to define what values I want to live by, focus on those values, and grow. What are the good parts of him that I want to imbibe? I like the fact that he could balance discipline and loving, because my father broke us out of school, just take us to the amusement park and take us for lunch.
Broke you out of school?
Yeah. So he could balance the mischievous part, the fun part, and the disciplinary part and all that. I was like, that's quite a lot to juggle, but I loved it. So I want to be able to do that and be that as well. And then I know that, oh, these are some lapses that you've had in discipline, lapses you had in finances, lapses that you've had in personal relationships. Okay, so what values do I want to live by? So I define those values and then I hyper focus on them. And so that's helping me.
Growing with grace. Growing with grace. We rise together.
So I saw a video, right? And this father, it was very emotional for me. He was training his child. He was trying to get the boy to jump on, I think there was a drum that was there, and he was teaching him how to be fast and very athletic, right? And the boy kept trying, and every time he tried, he would fall. And then the father would say, "Get up, try again." And then the boy would jump and he would fall, and the father kept saying, "Try again." At some point, the boy tried to reach out to his dad for support, and the man moved back. And he started crying. I felt so bad because I'm like,
Why?
help him.
Nah, we don't
And
do that.
he kept jumping. And then at some point, the father just what he said. And then the father said, "You can do this." I said, "Jump." And he jumped on the drum. He stood straight.
That's it.
And the wave of emotions that left that boy when he jumped, he busted into tears and he screamed, "Daddy, I did it." And the father held on to him, hugged him, kissed him, and I started crying.
Why are you crying?
Because I'm like, as a mother, I don't think I can handle
That's the
it.
thing. That's a typical mother's response.
Yeah.
Fathers don't raise boys that way. So approach to parenting, besides raising them with love and all that, our approach to raising men is different. I'm reading a book currently, and it says that for every one, especially the men, you are shaped by what's influenced you as a kid. But unfortunately, nowadays we are raising men by female defined values. You know that your instinct would have been to help him take a break now. You can resume this later. Oh, he's crying already.
Yeah.
He's probably tired. Men don't raise boys that way.
I mean, that's what I would have done.
Because you're a mother. You're not a father. A father would do exactly what that man did because he knows he can do it. And he knows that in the world out there, you are the one that will prove yourself.
Okay, so you said, but what's so wrong in raising men in a female-led value base? Yeah.
I don't need to answer that question. You just need to look at the Western world.
Yeah.
Look at the kind of legislation coming out of the Western world. You'll understand where masculinity has been weakened and so watered down that there is little to nothing left of it. That is why we can have what we have right now.
But do you not think that we have boys now who understand women better? Because I think one of the conversations that we women are having a lot these days are parents have raised men that do not understand the women. You don't know what menstrual cycle is. You don't understand when a woman's mood is down or low. So
nobody understands when a woman's
so
mood
how do you
is-
balance it? You can't try to understand it.
Here's the take, or
Yeah.
here's my take. Yeah. A man will strive to understand his woman.
Mhm.
A man will make efforts because pursuit is the proof of desire. If I desire you, I will make efforts to understand the things that matter to you. Now, for a person that was brought up balanced, you should know basic biology. You should know basic chemistry. You should know basic
You have a lot of
things.
men who don't.
I know, and that is the fault of our education system and parenting, because education starts from the home and then it moves into the classrooms and all that. Yes, we have systems that have collapsed a whole lot. But if you can maintain the integrity of that in child raising and say, oh, these are things that you must know, basic survival skills, basic courtesy, kindness, and civility. Basic things that make you useful and impactful in society. Those ones, once you cover the basics, it is now left to now go into the specifics. What kind of person do you want to be? What do you want to do with yourself and all?
I hear you. I agree.
To a point.
But yeah, to a point, you've raised your own kids, you've raised other kids that you did not biologically give birth to, right? How much of your experience as a teenager with your father have you brought into that relationship with your children?
So quite a lot actually, and I think with the men I have mentored and raised, I have raised them individually. There has never been like a blanket approach.
Mm-hmm.
Because I know that this person is not biologically my son. I want to know where you come from. I like to go to their homes, meet their parents if they're still alive, meet their people, and get a feel of who these people are and what has shaped them right now. And then paint a picture of this is who you are. This is where I see you going. Let's get there together.
So 3 things.
Yeah.
If you could go back to change the way your relationship with your father was, what would it be?
What would I change? The relationship?
Yeah.
I don't think I'd change anything.
Mhm.
Because even the things that I felt bad about in my early stages in life, I realized that they were for my own good. The way he instilled the reading and literary culture early on, I'm so grateful for it. I'm a voracious reader and I love it. And it helps me learn, helps me on the job, it helps me consume info and data way faster than most people. I mean, I breezed through school and was pretty good. So looking back, I
Ifiko.
appreciate it. Looking back, I really appreciate him instilling those things.
Yeah.
Him, the basic fact that he could, I can remember him sitting on the floor with us. We're watching Voltron or something. And we were leaving for school shortly, but he was like, "Oh, don't worry, we'll get there in time. Let's watch this together." I have been able to do that with my kids. I have like a hard drive with folders of things they can watch and other things that I have vetted and then they can watch. And I can do that with them because it was modeled for me. I don't think I'll change anything about the relationship. I think it
So
went well.
which generation do you think did it better? Theirs or ours?
Theirs.
Okay, tell me why.
We're getting it wrong
Okay.
here. We are getting into progressively gentle parenting, which essentially is, I will define what parenting is by whatever my child wants or how my child feels, which is totally wrong. The child knows nothing.
Do you not think that it's important to put your child's feeling into consideration?
What
as a
feeling? Where did he
parent?
get the feelings from? Did he buy them?
Because he's a child.
What are you talking about?
He's a human being with
What does
feelings.
the child know? Scientifically, the part of your brain that is responsible for decision making does not activate until you're 25.
Oh yeah.
What do kids know? I just read a research paper yesterday, and 140 children were raised. They were raised without consequences. They were raised with whatever they wanted, they got it. They were never told no at all. They were raised very free. I think it was called free parenting or something. Absolutely no discipline, no consequences, nothing. One of them just left his 4th job in 11 months. He could not keep a job. He said, "I don't understand how to follow through with anything. I don't understand how to stay on a task because, what if I get tired? I want to go or leave." And they tell me, "No, you have to sit here." Why do I have to? I was never made to understand these things. And all of them are growing with regret right now. I wonder who thought of that kind of sick experiment, but we can see exactly how they have turned out. Because where there are no consequences, where you don't draw the lines for children. See, this is the way children are. Every child wants to test how far I can get away with because they just want to live the baby boy and baby girl life. So if you don't draw the lines and draw them back, and from the story you said, the mother's instinct is to nurture, the father's instinct is to direct because he can see the future. And both are very necessary. They must be balanced to raise a healthy child.
So do you think it's the parents, our generation as parents now, we are, because I mean, there's a conversation going on where everybody is complaining about Gen Zs, they are Gen Alphas, they are stubborn, they are this. So if I follow you now, you're saying that the fault is from how they were raised. Because it looks like there's some sort of automatic button that they were born with. So no matter how good a parent is, you still have that Gen Z child trying to be a Gen Z still. So
I think, I'm absolutely certain that it is from parenting. It is not up to the children to raise themselves, but that is what we have in the world right now.
do you think exposure to technology has?
It has a part to play in it. But here's the thing. Admittedly, children, the Gen Alphas, children right now, they are more tech savvy. I don't know what they're doing in heaven, but children seem to catch on more with tech and devices than we did, which is good. But then it is still the parents' duty to regulate those things. But see, wherever you see someone that is an obvious Gen Z, labeled Gen Z, that person is raising him or herself. Because where you have parents, there's something our parents will always tell us: remember the child of whom you are. I'll have said it in Yoruba, but my Yoruba is not the, yeah. Because there's some things, even you when growing up, there's some things you would want to do,
Oh, definitely.
but when you
cannot
think
try
about
it.
the home
Like
I'm
going
going
out
back
and coming
to,
back at night.
Are you kidding me?
I
Where?
see that a lot on the internet.
It can't happen. But now you see 19-year-olds, you see 18, 16, 17, 13-year-olds, they're not living at home.
Mm.
I have no idea where they're living, but they're with friends and all that, or they're already shacked up with a boyfriend or something. That's crazy. And then even when they live at home, a child, a teenager is bringing in material things into the house where your parents are, and the parents are okay with it.
Mm. So
Sorry,
a boy
I'm not
child
sorry.
and a girl child, who needs the father?
Who needs the father more?
Mhm.
Both. And we raise men and women differently. You raise men to let them know these are the values and this is how to protect your future. You raise a woman to know this is the standard so that you will not settle for anything less. These are the basics of life, and this is how you should be treated. This is how you should treat me as well.
So I have a lot of people that grew up without fathers and they turned out so well. I, for instance, grew up without my father.
Okay.
And I think my mother did an exceptional job. Don't
Kudos
you
to
think so?
her. Oh, she did.
Yeah. So I mean, so it worries me sometimes, when we're having conversations and somebody points their hand at maybe a teenage girl and say, I sure saying Papa no deal with him. You
Because
cannot act
you can spot those things sometimes. You can't generalize, but you can spot those behaviors, because when you see someone acting out or acting like I don't respect boundaries, because boundaries are primarily the job of the father to set.
Okay.
Genetically,
Please, how do you
men
mean?
are more. You would have saved that boy from jumping. I would
Yes,
have
I
let him
would,
keep
and I'll
jumping.
teach him to jump later.
That's the thing. A man has to follow through. You're a man. Life is waiting on you to finish what you started. You're like, relax, we can do it later. Don't kill yourself now.
Mhm.
Men kill themselves every day. We go out, we face the world, we're roaming the streets trying to think of where the next meal is coming from, or how to handle this disappointment so that when I get home, it's not showing on my face and people can't see that. We die literally daily, but we keep moving. A woman will say, I'm dying, let me have some self-care. Let me recoup and refresh and then go again. Men don't have that option. We just have to keep going because no one is going to understand that you could not get it done. As a child, you could not jump on that drum. Okay, fine. As a man, how dare you not be able to jump? What do you mean you can't jump? Why? Why can't you?
Okay. I have one more question that I want to ask before I move to my next segment, which is going to be entirely about how we're raising kids, right?
Okay.
Between the mother and
Yeah.
the father, which one is mostly needed in the life of a child?
Both.
Okay.
There's no hierarchy of the need.
So how do people
We need
balance
the
it?
balance.
So if you're a father, you're raising your kids alone. You're a mother, you're raising your child alone. How do you balance being a mother and a father? How do you balance such?
You have to start by first understanding the fact that you're not both parents and you can't be both parents. You have your own natural inclinations, you have your natural wiring, and then understand these are the gaps that might be created because of this single parent dynamic that I'm in. So once you can identify that, you're halfway there to solving it. You either have like a solid support structure. Maybe you have like brothers or cousins that visit you regularly and are in the life of the children so they can actually still model the lifestyle or something. You need to have, because you need to have that balance, else it will be skewed to one part. Children that are raised without their dad or without their mom, there is always a vacuum in there. And while no one can fill that vacuum, it's important to let them know that, oh, this is not your fault that this vacuum exists, but I'm trying to fill this with, this support system. It's important. That balance is very important. I know that the world we live in, that will never be, it wouldn't always be the ideal or the reality.
Yeah.
But wherever that happens, understand that this has happened. Don't assume I'm both parents. No, let's not be arrogant or audacious. There's no need.
We have a lot of mothers calling themselves kings. Perhaps you must say something. What do you think? Because women
Think?
are women are
I
trying
don't
to.
think it's above my
It's
pay
above
grade.
your pay grade.
I don't think about such things.
Women are trying as much as possible to wear the men cap, and if I hear you clearly, which I agree, if you're a woman, be a woman. You do not have to be a man just to prove a point. I feel like there's a lot of point proving that most women are trying to do now, and you don't see that a lot with men, especially if single men, single fathers who are raising their kids. You don't see them a lot saying, "I'm a queen, I'm a father and a mother in one. I can do this." So I'm not sure why. Why do you? I know you're not a woman, but from a man's perspective, why do you think women really want to identify as both a queen and a king, especially when they are single mothers?
You're asking me to read the minds of people I do not understand. As I said, that it's above my pay grade. I literally can't answer you honestly. I don't know. I don't think I'll ever know why they do what they do.
Okay.
I implore you to join us by subscribing to all our social media platforms on Instagram, TikTok, YouTube, and join us to have this conversation.
Growing with grace, growing with grace.
Therefore, I want to show you a video, right? Okay.
Let me see. Okay. It's not even the child, it's the mother. Child is stupid, yeah, but no.
Why did you say the child is stupid?
This looks like a child that has not had social interactions with other children. And if he has, if they all behave this way and thinks this is okay behavior, that's just stupid. Doesn't he go to school? What's he being taught? But I primarily blame the mother.
Okay.
The parent. I'm only seeing the mother in this video. That's why I'm saying mother. But this is a parenting fault. So, because typical, the audience is seeing this video as well.
Yeah.
If I see a child hitting a parent, or let me take this specific case.
Mhm.
A son hitting his mom. The father should have thrown a piece of wood or a slipper or something to him across the room and bundled him out.
I remember when we were growing up, my mother is
can't.
slapping me and my hand is like this to block. The moment you try to block that slap, you have earned 10 more of it. So
Thank you. Because
so I'm wondering at
how
what
do you
point
raise, what confidence do you have to raise your hand against
your
own?
mom?
Nah. And then the mom is there, she's laughing, she's happy about it. No. Please.
Do you think this child will do the same to the father?
To the father, it depends on the kind of man the father is. Men, no comment. No comment.
Please comment.
This is too much.
Yeah.
To actually watch and take in, and some people think it's normal.
Yeah.
An average father might not have tolerated this kind of behavior, but then again, there are some effeminate fathers that will say, oh, they should sort this thing out themselves. I don't want to be in the mix, which is wrong, which is so dead wrong, because you are the one to set those kinds of boundaries.
Yeah.
But even me saying now that the father should set boundaries, I had a fire starter as a mom. My mom had the most amazing slaps. She was very free with them, giving them out and all that. I mean, you don't get away with nonsense.
Yes.
Literally. So the kinds of kids we have these days are a direct result of the kind of parents we have. And the kind of parents we have these days are the ones that refused to be parented properly. back in their own day because they thought this was repressive or this is very oppressive. It's not. It's raising children. God help us.
So
help
I
us, man.
have a pool of questions,
Oh yeah, cool. Shoot.
right, from some of the teenagers around me.
Oh,
who-
nice.
Yeah.
I love teenagers.
So I have this from a teenage boy who is actually, I think he's about 16. And he said, "Good morning, Auntie Jane. I just entered the university. My parents separated when I was about 9. My mom left, and it has just been me, my sister, and my dad. My dad does not have another wife, he's focused on us. I have watched him work hard and skip things for himself just to make sure we have everything we need. He never really complains. He just does it, and I respect him for that. My dad is not really the type to say how he feels, and we don't talk much. Even though I sometimes want to tell him how I feel about things like school, girls, my future, and stuff that stresses me, but I don't know how to start, and I am not sure he will understand. I'm really working hard in school because I want to make him proud. I want him to look at me and appreciate the fact that his sacrifice was worth it. Please, can you teach me how to become his friend? I see my friend with his dad and I'm mostly envious. And when I tried with my dad, it is always awkward. What do I do?
Okay, so first, kudos to whoever wrote this. That's a very self-aware and situationally aware person. That's a very brilliant mind that wrote this. So kudos to this chap, this young chap. And yes, it will be awkward because fathers process emotions differently. What he has seen with his friend and his friend's dad, that's not how it started. Fathers think functionally most of the time, and so it will take extra training for them to understand how to balance the emotional side of children, because we're almost always focused on the business side of things, the functional side, the needs, the meeting the needs and all that. He said something pretty key. He can see his father sacrificing, but then he does not prioritize himself because he's just focused on, and that is taking a very heavy toll. Not sure that.
So, sorry to cut
No,
you,
it's fine.
and we're going to come back to this. I want us to go back to the conversation when we newly started, where you talked about male children being raised from a feminine side. Do you not think that's if this boy maybe had a mother in his
He'll
life?
be way better. He'll be way, way better because definitely we need an outlet for the emotional parts that we have. But when it's not there, you will keep feeling that vacuum will always be there.
Mm.
And that is what is happening to him. So now he wants to find both of them in his dad. His dad is doing a great job at parenting, at being a father, from what he has stated out here, which is amazing. What he needs to do now is, now that he's 16, he wants to be his father's friend. Beautiful stuff. Yes, he can just take baby steps. He can let his father know, I'm proud of you. I appreciate you. And I know, I see, and I know it's not been easy, but I'm here. And you might need to talk sometimes. We don't know who his father talks to or not, but he must have somebody he's talking to because else he will implode. But let this young man step up and tell him, because men, we
Because
respond
he's afraid.
to, we
Maybe he's
respond
afraid of
to,
his father.
it's normal, but then it should now become, it should not be, it's the way we are with God.
Mm-hmm.
The way we are with God is, I'm in awe of you, but you love me like this, really? But I'm really in awe of you. It's not fear, it's reverential. That is what he needs to have. He has a very good outlook of his dad, which is amazing. But he should just let his dad know these things. One, I'm grateful. Men, wherever we are appreciated, we flourish. You see that thank you. It opens up a side of him that makes him want to do more. So, Dad, I'm grateful that I see you. Because, as I said again, men are dying every day. And he has said that in his write-up as well.
Yeah.
I see you. I see the things you do. And I really, really acknowledge them. It brings the man even closer. And 3, I am also here. I have things I want to talk about, but I would like to hear from you as well. it will not, it's not going to start off being rosy from the
Yeah.
onset, but it's something that with consistency they can actually build a repertoire. And then the dad is not against him. The dad also wants to have a connection with
Yeah.
him, but the only connection that he might be seeing from this write up, now we don't know anything outside of this, is I need to meet your needs.
At that
I need to
time.
meet your material needs. Daddy, you have met my material needs. I want
I
to
now
meet
want
some needs for
emotional.
you, and I want you to meet those needs for me as well. And we can work on this together, and they'll be
Okay.
fine.
Thank you so much, Dapo. I really appreciate. But
You're
before we
welcome.
round off, I would like for you to look straight to the camera, and you're going to say something to a teenage boy out there who's
Ah,
struggling with um parenthood, who's struggling with loneliness, struggling with not having a father or a mother in their life, or struggling with how to build a relationship with their parents. Because I believe that in this millennials, we complain a lot about how we were raised. Every day on social media, I see my dad used to slap me. My mother my mother she beat me one day. I collapsed. And she poured me water and I woke up.
you see,
I'm still here today, nothing to me.
she,
So I mean,
that's a good type of reason.
I'm not saying that that's a good approach to parenting, beating your
Oh
child.
no, I'm saying that it is.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah.
So it's okay that my mother beats me and I
Oh yeah,
faint.
I
I have
appreciate it.
not
Look at you.
forgotten it too. I still remember
You don't
where I
forget.
fell
That's the
down
thing. You
from.
don't forget it. This two things. I'll say. And I don't know about your audience, but I'm a Christian. The Bible says, spare the rod and spoil the child. And there's another part of the Bible that says that there's a kind of craziness that is clustered in the child of the in the heart of the child,
Mhm.
and a king can release it from the child.
Mhm.
That is one part. So corporal punishments, not abuse, but corporal punishments, the African type of corporal punishments, I support it fully. Two, the Bible also says, train up a child in the way that he should go. The responsibility of that training and the responsibility of that going is in the hand of the person training. So parents have that responsibility, not the child. The child may think, I know where I want to go. You don't know nothing. You're not there yet. So it is the parents cooperating with God and saying, oh, this child that I'm caretaking, this child that you have put in my care, how exactly do you want this child to go? What do I do? What pitfalls should I avoid and all that?
Mhm.
Yes. But you don't parent in isolation. In Africa, it has always been, it takes a village. It has always taken a village. Now it is taking fewer and fewer parents to the point where we have no parents at all. And we think we'll still have the right, we won't have the right output. It just won't happen.
So how do these teenagers manage it?
This
Tell
is my take to any teenager. You're young, you're trying to navigate life. You either have one parent, both parents together, whatever it is, whatever you do, know these things. One, it's not your fault that you either have just one or two parents. No. And that is not wrong in itself. What you should do is look for models, look for the right kind of models. Either they are within your circles or they are models that you can look up to virtually and see, this is where I want to go. Carve up values for yourself. These are the things that I value, and not all these values on social media and all these things that people say, no, not those ones. Look for the right kind of values. I want to be a person of significant influence in this specific field. I want a family that not only glorifies God, but creates lasting impact right here on earth. I want to be the kind of person that other young people will look up to down the line and be grateful to look up to me as a role model. I want to be the kind of person that will model a particular lifestyle that will change a certain narrative. I want to look at myself and love what I see. I want to look at myself and love the people I have around me. Carve those values for yourself and make them your mantra. Look for people that you see that have those values. I'm not saying copy and paste, but look at them for inspiration. Look up to people that have the right kinds of values, that speak the right things. And you see these people in the weirdest places. You meet them in your school, you see them in some family circles, you see them in some friends, you see them in some particular people, but be sure that you're following the right kind of people. But don't take your eyes off the values, because if you don't set those things for yourself as a foundation, you'll be blown left and right by anything else that catches your fancy. But once you know this is who I want to be and this is why I want to be this particular person, then you're on the right track and you'll be fine down the line.
Amazing. And I love it. Thank you so much, Dapo, for coming. We appreciate you. And to everybody watching, if you're a teenager out there watching this right now, I just want to tell you that your parents are in your life for a reason. God gave them to you for a purpose. Give them the grace to bring you up in the way that God asked them to. They know better. Trust me, they do. This is Growing with Grace, and see you on the next episode. Bye.